What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Simple Life. Today I'm going to be making a gumbo. It's been snowing and cold right here in Virginia, and I've been wanting something hot. Didn't really want to do a pot roast because I did a pot roast last weekend. I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I'm actually going to do a gumbo today. I'm going to have some chicken, sausage, and shrimp in there. And I wanted to bring you guys along to show you how I make my gumbos. And hopefully you can get the recipe from this and do it yourself. So yeah, I wanted to bring you guys along as I make this gumbo. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, first things first, we got to go ahead and get all of our prep work done. Mainly slicing up veggies and meat and stuff to get it all cooked to go in this gumbo. You want to start off with the Trinity. Now, I'm allergic to onions, so I don't put onions in my gumbo, but you want to start off with a little bit of bell peppers, some celery, and then of course your white onion. Get all that diced up. We're going to be throwing some andouille sausage in there as well. Got the chicken breast still over here thawing out a little bit, but it should be fine. And I got shrimp and okra in the freezer. And I'm going to go ahead and get all this prepped up. We're going to go ahead and make our roux and get everything combined together and let it marinate and slow simmer. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start prepping this stuff. Got my holy duo here since I can't put onions in it. All chopped up and ready to go. Now to cook all this in, I'm using a 14 quart cast iron Dutch oven on my stove. You can use a big pot if you want. I'm making a pretty big gumbo. I need to feed like 7 or 8 people with this thing. So you can actually cut down a portion size. I used 4 bell peppers and 2 stalks of celery. Also going to be using 2 pounds of shrimp, 2 andouille sausages, and 4 chicken breasts. You can cut it down in half, or if you have more people to feed, you can double it, triple it, however big you want to do it. You just, use the same concepts as I'm using here, and you'll make a pretty nice gumbo. But now that I got my holy duo chopped up here, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the meat while my cast iron is warming up, because we need to go ahead and sweat this celery and green pepper. Alright, got all the vegetables prepped, the meat's all prepped and ready to go. I am actually sitting in a kitchen chair because to me making a gumbo is a lot like being in a relationship. You want to pay attention to everything that's going on, give it your undivided attention. You want to spend some good quality time with it if you want your gumbo to be really, really good. Just like the keys of a good, successful relationship. So I got everything right here in front of me. I'm going to take just a little bit of oil to just make the pan a little non-stick. I mean, this is cast iron, so it's not going to stick or anything like that. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in our vegetables. Got my spatula. Want to give those a nice little sweat, a little salt and pepper. I almost forgot one thing. Give me 1 second. Well, minced garlic. I like a lot of garlic in mine. As you can see, things settle down a little bit. Not as loud. After I added that garlic, it cooled the temperature down a little bit. I did turn my stove down a little bit to about medium low. I don't want this to cook too terribly fast. Again, just like a relationship, you don't want things to move too terribly fast. So I'm just letting this cook down some. I can even let it sit there for a little while. Here's what it's looking like inside. You don't want your vegetables to get too soft, but you don't want them to be super hard in this stage either, because they're going to soften a little bit when you incorporate everything into the roux and let it simmer for a little while. So when things just start getting soft is when you want to pull it. I'm almost there now. Things could. You don't want things to be mushy is what I'm getting at. I do have a temporary bowl here that I'm going to take this and pull this out in, because we're going to brown our meat in this same pot as well, and then incorporate all the drippings from that into the roux. All right, let's go ahead and get all this out here. Okay, got all that out. Need me just a little more oil. It's alright if you leave little bits and pieces in there. So I just want to enhance the flavor a little bit anyways. So give it a little more oil. Deglaze everything that's on the bottom. And me personally, I always go sausage first, especially since I have it in a bowl like this, because I'm going to take the sausage back out, put it in the same bowl, and going to put the chicken in here and then put the chicken and the sausage in the same bowl to help save dishes. I am going to crank my heat back up to about medium. Now this is where you can start making things a little interesting if you want. You can actually start adding your seasoning to your meat and stuff so it can get all good through your roux. So I'm just going to add me a little onion powder. It's weird. I'm allergic to raw and cooked onions, but onion powder, stuff like that, I'm fine with. I don't know if that's like the dehydration process with it. If that takes whatever it is in the onion I'm allergic to. But yeah, I can do onion powder. I just can't do onions. A little garlic powder. And then whatever your favorite Cajun season, whether it's Tony Chachere's, stale crackers seasoning, slap your mama, go ahead and season it with this. Me, I'm using a little Camp Dog, made in Louisiana, Platte, Louisiana to be exact. Sorry, the camera's over there. You can actually search this up if you're interested in getting this particular seasoning. They have a really good blackening seasoning as well that I like to use. But we're going to go ahead and season it up with this. It's fine to give it a liberal amount of seasoning on your meat. That way you don't have to season the roux as much when it's getting to that point. But just let everything brown up in here and give it a quick stir. Sausage is already beginning to sweat a little bit, as you can see. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes, listen to her talk, get to know it a little bit, and once everything's browned, I'll go ahead and pull it out and put it in this bowl, and we'll go ahead and start the chicken next. glaze. And now the chicken. Toss the salmonella plate away. One less dish we gotta wash. Get it all spread around so it's all getting some love from the bottom. I'm gonna season this too. Alright, let's go ahead and pull this chicken off now. Into the same bowl as the sausage. And look how juicy that chicken looks. Okay. At this point, you want to go ahead and turn the stove down to as low as it can get. And we're going to go ahead and start our roux. The roux is probably the most time-consuming part of this thing where you have to be active in it. You gotta wait for it to get that beautiful chocolate brown color. Alright. Now, I just gotta go get a couple more things. I gotta go get the flour, some more oil, and a little bit of butter, and we'll go ahead and build this roux. Alright, now it is roux time. I am going to start with a stick of butter. Throw that in there, let it get good and melted. Also, some oil, quite a bit. I covered the bottom of my pan just about with oil. I'm going to let that butter melt, and then I'm going to throw in about, I'm going to put in a little more oil. I don't think you can have too much oil, to be honest. I'm going to throw in a cup of flour once this oil gets down. Your spatula, I like to call these Sunday spatulas because they're holy. Dad joke. Because you can actually set it down flat in the bottom of the pan like this and stir your roux. You don't want it sticking to the bottom or anything. But get this butter good and melted. Since I did half a stick of butter, which is equivalent to a half a cup, you want to do about the same amount of flour. So we're going to sprinkle it around in there. Just do equal parts of whatever, however much butter you did, do equal parts of flour. Get your spatula and go ahead and start mixing it together so you don't have any lumps from the flour. I'm beginning to think that this is not even going to be nowhere near enough roux. So let me go ahead and add another half a cup of flour, and then I'm going to add another stick of butter. Doesn't have to be precise with the flour. As you can see, I scooped it, didn't level it off or anything like that. Let's go ahead and mix this in some more. Get a little more oil in there, then I'll get some more butter, and we're gonna start building this roux. Alright, so I got this roux going. I did add my extra butter in there because I needed a little bit more roux for how big of a gumbo I'm making. This process, to get it as dark as the roux needs to be, could take 30 minutes or even north of that. So you just got to sit here and be patient with it and just let it do its thing. Stir it every so often so it doesn't stick. But yep, just sit there and watch it.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
y'all. This is definitely a labor of love kind of thing. Sometimes I'll just let it sit and cook like this, and hopefully it's just getting brown on the bottom, then I can just give it a quick stir. I'm just trying to get it that dark chocolate color. Once it gets that color, it should also start to smell like nutty, and that's when you know you're done, and then you can start moving on to building the gumbo. Oh, just sitting here waiting, but you definitely want it to be that consistency for sure, where it should stick to the spatula a little bit like that. Just keep letting it go and letting it darken up, and you have a delicious gumbo. As you can see, we're starting to get some darkness finally. I've just been letting it sit here and occasionally stirring it. As you can see, as I stir, you'll see like dark bits like that, which is a-okay, because all you have to do is just mix it all in together and it'll incorporate itself, and that's what gets your roux nice and dark. Just got to get it that dark, deep chocolate brown. I'll show you guys in a minute once it gets that color. And there we have it, y'all, a nice chocolate looking roux. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and start moving on. Alright, now that our roux is nice and chocolate, I'm going to go ahead and dump the veggies in. Hold on for a second. I want it all. Get all this in there. Get everything, get all these veggies nice and coated in this roux. I'll be honest with you guys, this actually works better with a wooden spoon, but since all my wooden spoons are broke, I had to go with this spatula here. Alright, if you're doing a normal size, you just need 2 chicken stocks. Chicken stock will give it a much richer flavor, but since I'm doing such a big one, I'm going 4. Then again, I might be going 2. I don't know. I swear I got my stove on low. I don't know why it's doing all that bubbling. We might go 3. I just want to make sure I have enough room for all the protein that's going in here. You do want to give this a stir like this to release all that roux from the bottom. Dang, that's quite a bit of roux got stuck on the bottom there. That roux, now that it's mixed in with this broth, as it slowly cooks, is going to start thickening up a little bit, which is where all the magic is going to happen. And all the good flavor from that roux and all these vegetables and stuff is going to really shine through. I don't feel anything else stuck to the bottom. I am going to go ahead and add 1 more chicken broth. I'm sorry, stock. I keep saying broth, but we got stock. You know what? Screw it. I'm adding a 4th one too. I think I got plenty of room. Okay, so all 4 chicken broths. Just making sure you're nothing else stuck to the bottom. stuck there. Alright, now we're just going to let that come up to a simmer, then we're going to add the protein in. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the lid on this thing. I still have it on low. I am going to crank it up to like medium low. Like on my stove I have 1 through 9. I want to put it on about 3 and just let it do its thing. Now while we are smoking and sizzling, I am going to season this thing up a little bit more, mainly with my Cajun seasoning. I definitely wanted to have, you know, that Cajun kick to it. Although this one doesn't have a whole lot of kick to it, but it does have that Cajun taste. Season it rather liberally. And then hit it with just a little bit of garlic and onion powder. I know I said you want to season the meat and stuff liberally too, but you want to make sure it gets all up and through there. And this is actually the perfect time to taste it as well. You can be brave like me, stick a finger in there, or you can get a little spoon. Don't worry, my hands are clean. I'm sitting right here by the kitchen sink. I wash my hands throughout all this. You do want to remember to keep constantly stirring this thing. Because the root is sticking to the bottom, you want to keep scraping that up so everything starts to thicken up a little bit. But just a little. And then you just go from there. Add me a little more salt. Quite a bit more pepper. Now this is also where if you want it really spicy, you can add your cayenne pepper and all that other good stuff that gives it nice heat. I have a couple people in here that really like the gumbo, but they don't like heat, so I do gotta make mine a little on the mild side. Don't get me wrong, it does have some kick from the Cajun seasoning, but it's not too much where they can't handle it. Give it another taste. I think we there. Just add a little more Cajun. Let's go to the big side. Since I can see this thickening up, which I normally wait for to simmer, but I can actually feel it thickening. So we're just going to go ahead and add the chicken and the sausage. It's probably a bad idea to do it that way. Let's somewhat shovel it. I saw that going horribly wrong, letting it splash in there. You guys would have got covered with a gumbo. The floor would have been a mess. I would have had to clean the stove again. All that jazz. Now I know what you're thinking. Didn't he say this is the chicken, sausage, and shrimp gumbo? Yes, this is a chicken, sausage, and shrimp. And as you can see, I didn't pre-cook the shrimp or anything like that. Reason I don't pre-cook the shrimp, I actually throw it in here frozen. That way it can absorb all of that juice into the shrimp and give it that nice Cajun flavor as well. Same thing with the okra. I throw that in there frozen as well. Oh man. Yep, we're just gonna let this marry for a little bit. I don't need any more seasoning. I'm happy with that. Throw the lid back on here. I'm gonna let this thing marry together for a little while longer. Then we're gonna throw the shrimp and okra in there, and then we'll be ready to eat. I do want to mention that now that everything is in the pot, now is the perfect time to go ahead and get your rice ready. I'm going to go ahead and grab my rice cooker and go ahead and get the rice started. If you don't have a rice cooker, you can get the boiling bag rice and do it on the stove. But now is the perfect time to go ahead and get your rice going. While y'all weren't looking, I threw in a couple of bay leaves in there too. But we got a nice little simmer going on, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the shrimp and the okra in here now. And let this thing sit here and marry for about 30 minutes. All right, cut okra. Raw shrimp. I went 2 pounds. Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong bag of shrimp. That was supposed to be peeled. That's easy peel, and that's already peeled. So somebody's gonna have to do a little bit of work when they're eating that gumbo and look at their shrimp. But this thing is like full to the brim. Y'all, we got a special guest in the building. Sir Phillips came over and asked if he could be a part of the gumbo too. And I'm like, sure, Mr. Phillips, we can add you into the gumbo. So we're going to go ahead and do that now too. And have 4 different meats in here. Well, Mr. Phillips has joined the party down there. He is having the time of his life. This stuff looks so good. It smells even more fantastic. As a matter of fact, you guys deserve a close-up. Take a look at this. Yeah, you can see Mr. Phillips is in there having a blasty blast. But look at all that goodness. This is probably going to be the best gumbo I've made yet, y'all. I'm not even going to lie to you. Alright, y'all, let's go ahead and give this a taste. I can smell the crab in it. Although the crab, like, it disintegrated a little bit, so it's going to be all throughout everything. Yep, that's probably the best gumbo I've made to date. I'm glad I did this one on camera for y'all, because this one is going to be a hit with everybody. Looking for a shrimp, there we go. The chicken's really good in here. The sausage is really good. Whew. Let's taste this shrimp. Delicious. Man, gumbo was so hot and fresh that I had to stand outside and cool off. But man, that was a good gumbo. If you like this and wish to follow me for more recipes, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. I'm going to be rolling out a whole lot of recipes and videos here pretty soon. And also hope to kick off my new series, We Got Food at Home, where I go out and get dishes from different restaurants, whether it be fast food or sit-down restaurants, and I try to come home and recreate those same dishes. So you got that to look forward to. But I'm going to be doing a couple videos here in the next week or so with videos making some different Super Bowl snacks, since that's right around the corner as well. But I want to thank you guys very much for watching this video. And no matter where you are, no matter what you're cooking, make sure you do everything the simple way.